Shamardal's progeny have had a very successful year on the racetrack, with some of his top performers including Pinatubo, Earthlight, Victor de Dorm and of course Royal Ascot history maker Blue Point. He stands at Kildangan Stud in Ireland alongside his recently retired son Blue Point, and we called into the Irish base of Godolphin to see them both.
So we've always considered Shamardal to be our very best. Dubawi is clearly the team leader, but Shamardal has always matched him all the way along. You know, Shamardal was the three-time Group 1 winning champion 3-year-old miler that year, and he just seems to put that through in his stock. It's been truly amazing to have three 2-year-olds like that. Pinatubo's national stakes win is one of the most impressive wins I've seen in a very long time, and it was so impressive that I think he even made William Buick speechless when he came back into the parade ring. It took a second for the reality of how impressive it really was, and then he backed it up in the Dewhurst. When you go to Earthlight, you know, he'd won one of the most famous races in France in the morning. He then comes to Newmarket and, you know, he gives a hugely impressive performance in the Middle Park. And Victor de Dorm, many people told me after he won his maiden, I had a few phone calls about that was one of the most impressive maiden winners in a very long time. And then to see him get to his Group 1 as well. He's one of those horses you wouldn't know he's there, but he works hard. He's never not covered a mare. He's never not shown well. He's one of those. He's kind of a natural athlete, kind of an iron horse. So he's the most straightforward horse we have over in the yard. He's had a huge impact in our broodmare band, and he will continue to have. He's a 17-year-old stallion, but he's still, he'll be here for another while. And you know, like any other year, Castle Lady winning the Guineas would have been what we would have dreamed of. It's just the fact that he's added a bonus of those three 2-year-olds. So, crystal ball, maybe we'll have a French and English and Irish Guineas in our hands next year, and that'll be Shamardal's legacy to us. But yeah, we're going to dine on the riches of Shamardal for a long time to come. Blue Point coming to Kildangan it was a fantastic achievement, and it's great endorsement of Irish breeders. We're delighted to have him. It was a difficult decision because he could have easily stood in Dallam and got the same support, but we just felt that the Irish commercial mares can sometimes have a huge impact on these young stallions. We haven't retired a horse as good as him for a long time. 3 Group 1s at Ascot. His toughness, he had a hard season last year. He remained unbeaten. He backed up in Ascot. He won 2 Group 1s in 4 days. And he's just one of those horses that gave you everything. And as Charlie said, he showed brilliance in the morning and in the afternoon. He was a dream to train, and being by Shamardal, that's no surprise. And he had a very similar kind of running style to Shamardal. Shamardal was a horse that was never headed in a race. Blue Point is very similar, has those kind of running style, that hard running style, go from the front. So you walk into our yard, you can look left and you can see Shamardal, look right and you can see Blue Point. You could slightly have to double take for a second when they're out walking, because the similarities are unbelievable. And they are just big physiques, big, strong, horses that have just this desire to work hard, and he is the most like Shamardal. It's extraordinary. Blue Point retired, after winning the Jubilee, and we moved him. We came from Charlie's, went up to Dallam Hall, and we showed him at the Stallion Parade, and it was amazing. Like, he walked out onto that lawn more professional than the stallions that have been doing it year after year. He walked around and he strode around the lawn, and that's the style of horse he is. We've then, shortly after, we moved him over to Kildangan, and he's settling in now, but he's a very straightforward horse. Anyone that's come to see him has found him they're very happy, very pleased. He's a typically, as we say, he's a very similar physique to Shamardal, but he's quite a good walking horse. This horse has just a lovely, powerful kind of forward-going action, and he's great. He's a great hip and he's a great shoulder, and it's not that common to kind of match up the two, but I think people will find it hard to find fault in him, and he's just let down well, and the lads find him a dream. He goes out in his paddock every day, and he's just a very, very straightforward horse to have here.